Last Friday, we touched slightly on the foundation of a sensation, a feeling called jealousy. Please understand that anything that comes under the heading of feelings does not have a logic behind it. Feeling is just that, a feeling, and it varies in degrees from person to person. Everybody has their own high water mark. When they cross the high water mark, they go into that negative sensation. When they are below the water mark, actually they get high on the same feeling. For argument's sake, hypothetically speaking. So, don't pull out your rotten tomatoes to throw at me. I'm just using an example. Imagine you and Quraysh are walking down the street. And suddenly, young and beautiful girls are turning around to take a second look at him. If your emotions are below the red line, same emotion, you can say, wow, my man still has it. How lucky I am to be married to such a charming guy who still can turn the heads around. Thank God. He is mine. That's one reaction. If your emotions are above the red line, same scenario, same emotion, but has gone over the red line, and that will say, what are you looking at? What do they have what I don't? Same feeling. No difference at all. And I'm talking of feeling of jealousy. It's positive and a negative nature. All emotions have positive and negative emotions. The person you love the most is also the person you hate the most. Why? Because the happiness that is coming out of the love can turn into pain in an instance. How? The lover has to leave you and go somewhere for an extended period of time. Now there is a separation. For no fault of anyone in the drama. But an event is an event is an event. So now that love turns into pain, and the pain gives rise to hatred. Emotion of jealousy has its twin brother or sister, whatever you want to call it, and that's called greed, which is what we talked last time. They are twin, joined at the hips. And we can argue which comes first. Greed comes first or jealousy comes first. Mostly it is the greed leading the jealousy. In certain cases, it can be the other way around. I am jealous of you having such a big mansion and I am living in a little cottage. Now, I am jealous of you and I want to buy a bigger one. That gives rise to my greed. Because I got jealous. I didn't look at it. Do I really need it? But the emotion came. Now, if I am an observer of myself, that's called self-awareness. Self-awareness will observe every single emotion rising inside you and will become the announcer. Watch it. The feeling is coming. But if I'm not self-aware, remember your days when you were 18, 19 years old? Riding your bike, going to your school or college. And the girl is riding the bike in the opposite direction. Very difficult to avoid the accidents at that time. Because the neck is going with it. And the cycle is going and you don't know where it is. Tell somebody, say, hey, are you not watching where you're going? What has happened? The mind is gone asleep. And the body is responding to emotion. Emotion. Not in today's I. E plus emotion. When the emotion comes up, they give rise to certain kinds of motions. If the emotions are out of your awareness, they will be positive in nature. If the emotions are out of unawareness, they will be negative in nature and you will only become alert once it has done its damage. All the people who are today in that emotional energy and every answer to every question is, but mom, I love him. That's it. And all other answers, questions, issues are supposed to be covered under one sweeping answer. But I love him or love her. What's happening here? The motion is taking place without the awareness of anything else in life. There was a poet in Pakistan called Faiz Ahmed Faiz. He wrote a beautiful line. And the ghazal starts with the line, Mujhse pehli si mohabbat meri mehboob na maang. Oh my lover, don't expect the same loving energy from me today. And the concluding line of that ghazal is, और भी दुख हैं ज़माने में मोहब्बत के सिवा, राहतें और भी हैं वसल की राहत के सिवा. और भी दुख हैं. There are other difficulties, pains in this life than the pain provided by the love. And there are other things to be done other than sleeping together. और भी राहतें हैं वसल की राहत. वसल means to sleep together. वसल की राहत के सिवा. But does the emotion care at that time? Why? Because the mind is asleep. When the mind is asleep, the jealousy will then drag along the greed with it. I remember our elders using a example. Whenever I will tell my father, I want this because my friend has it. And my father's staple answer used to be, if your friend has a red cheek, would you start slapping yourself? Very simple. Very effective example. If your friend has a red cheek, are you going to start slapping and make your cheek red? No, father. So then why are you asking me your friend has it, so you should have it? What kind of logic is this? I could never ever come up with the second argument. Why? Because it was that jealousy that created that desire. He has it, he's my friend, so I should have it too. Whether I need it or not, whether I ever wanted it before or not, was irrelevant. Then what he has it became the total focus. Everything else was minor. Whatever my father has provided me from my birth to today became irrelevant and said, I want to have that. Why? Because my friend has it. It's amazing that how these events are falling in place. Last night I got a call from India where my nephew is telling me that his son is refusing to go to college. I said, why? Because his friends are all coming to college in cars. And I told him, son, I do not have a car, I don't even have a motorcycle, but I buy you a bicycle. And he said, okay, I don't want to study. I want to sit home. Where is this coming from? Jealousy. The feeling of inferiority. Whether I deserve it or not, because my neighbor has it, I must have it. Now, who is the father of them all?
Ego.
The ego. If I cannot be higher than somebody, at least I should be equal. Otherwise, I'll be teased in my school, in my college. But the ego will never ask the question. If you want to be equal in this area, how are you going to get equal in the other area? If somebody comes to you and say, dear, you're so beautiful, but you know, if you are about 6 inches taller, you will be a Hollywood star. Tell me, what are you going to do about it? Nothing.
You can't.
You can't. How are you going to find the nature? How are you going to fight it? So if you are going to draw a line somewhere that I am not trying to become like the other, so why not to draw the line the very first time the mind says, I want to be like that? Therein lies the crux behind the jealousy. Jealousy does not know where to draw the line and say, enough is enough. Jealousy will feel the helplessness, but not willingly draw the line. In the first example, you can't do anything because you're helpless. But when you see a beautiful girl like you who's making millions in Hollywood because she's just 6 inches taller, that pain of jealousy will hit right here. Oh God, why did you give me another 6 inches? But I can't do anything about it. But look at that. Oh, Jennifer Aniston is not even prettier like me, but she's making millions because she's 6 and taller. Jealousy says God is screwed up somewhere as far as I am concerned. Everybody might say God is perfect. But at least for me, in this area, He screwed up royally. And I am going to try to correct that mistake one way or the other. So what is the marketing telling today the pretty girls how they get taller? Don't they?
Yes. Yeah.
The heels are increasing inch by inch by inch by inch when the angle of the foot, which is the most injurious thing for the back of a woman, because it puts the pressure on right here on the first 2 vertebrae of your back. Why? Because you are tilting forward and the body has to adjust backward. Otherwise your line of gravity shifts and you fall. Isn't that true? But can you walk today on any boulevard and watch the young girls in a shopping center on a polished tiles floor where even the fly can slip? But the girls are not scared. They will have a pointy heel, and some of them are even so comic that a 250-foot frame, 250-pound frame is being balanced on 2 points. Where is this coming from? Jealousy. God screwed up. Did not give me what I deserved, not what I desired. This is my birthright, or you better come down and explain why you did this to me. And if you are not coming, I'm going to do something about it. Any soul who sits in judgment of the Creator in any form or the shape is writing his own destiny to the misery for the rest of the life. Because what you are, who you are, what you have, what you don't, has nothing to do with God. It is all to do with your choices, made somewhere along the journey of your soul, not body, of the soul, because you have been acquiring and dropping bodies all along the journey of your soul. The unhappiness about the Creator's creativity and judgment against Him is at the roots of. This is how these evils start growing up inside our heart. It starts nagging from within, right? And we go to the doctors all the time and say, I can't get this thought out of my mind. No, what the poor doctor is going, there is no injection that if you have this kind of thought, I'll give you this injection. If you have this kind of thought, I'll give you this injection. What is the doctor going to do? He's going to say, well, okay, it looks like you have a childhood trauma. It's going to take about 3 years to get out. Come 3 times a week. My fees is $90 an hour. You will lose that problem within a few days when you pay $270 a week and you are making $250 a week. Your concern will disappear. The jealousy does not have an existence of its own, just as the attachment and the anger. They do not have existence of their own. They are a byproduct. They are a shadow. They are a reaction to something. Ego is not a reaction to anything. Ego exists. I am that I am. That is declaration of I. It doesn't need any reason. What does the I need? It's not a rhetorical question. What does the I need to exist?
Another.
I needs the other. Can you go to a tree and tell, I am a woman, hear me roar? What is the tree going to do? Or can you go to a cow, give me more milk because I am a woman, hear me roar? Why not? Because neither the tree nor the cow has I. But you can certainly come to me and say, I'm a woman, hear me roar, and say, yes, you are. Now your I exists. One of the reasons people go to forests to meditate is this. Because they have no place to express their I. All they have is a tree, stones, and birds, and there are no people. Slowly they forget that I exists. For that reason they go far away from the civilization to diminish the urge to say, I am. We have a great urge to say I am. Almost every one of you have traveled in the aeroplane. You sit in the plane and it flies. What is the urge sitting in the plane? Hello, how are you? Where are you going? Where are you coming from? Isn't it? Why is that urge? Because now I am establishing my I and I am asking you to establish your I. Because if we don't talk and the flight is 14 hours, we are both going to be in depression. To be completely quiet for 14 hours and say nothing or hear nothing from anybody. Intolerant. Ever noticed? Why is a house a restaurant a punishment? It's your home, right? You designed, you built, you lived, you raised your family here. And if the police comes in here and say, Tarane, you are under house arrest as a punishment to you. Let me tell you why. Tell me why this is a punishment.
Can't interact with anyone.
You cannot interact means, what does it mean? No I. You can't talk to the wall. You know me. You have seen me here for so many years. Talk me back. Solitary confinement in a prison. What does it mean? Cannot establish I. You are nobody sitting in the cell. Who are you going to tell? Who am I in the cell? So you have no reason to be jealous of anybody, no reason to be in love with anybody, no reason to be controlling anybody. You have absolutely no reason to exist. The existence is controlled by the sensation of I. And when that I is hurt, the anger is born, the jealousy is born. So long as that I is protected and is pampered, when you want to go to a party and you are dressing up, your partner, your husband dresses, comes down from the stairs. Now you walk slowly and you come down. Before you get out of the room, what is the first statement that you speak? Isn't it? How do I look? You look fine, honey. No. Don't tell me that. I think this dress makes my hip look a little bigger. Should I go and change it? No, honey. You are okay. No, you are lying. You're not telling me. I look at myself in the mirror. Okay, then go change. Oh, you hate me. You never liked me before. Okay, what do you want from me? Why did you ask this question to begin with? How do I look? Because I am looking for establishing my I before I get out of the door. And if that I is not pampered, sported, and nurtured, no honey, come give me a hug. You look so beautiful. I would not like to go to the party right now. Let's go upstairs and have fun. But no, we have made a promise. I have to go. Unless you hear this chatter, the I is not going to get established. The moment you walk into the party, because the I wasn't pampered there, now you're looking for that pampering over there. Now every other woman in the entire crowd is going to look prettier, sexier than you. And what is going to rise from inside? What emotions are going to come? Jealousy. If you are an observer and awake, you will immediately catch it. They are not doing anything to me. They are not saying anything to me. They are not commenting anything to me. So what am I insecure about? And the voice from inside will tell you, you are still looking for that stroking. You are still looking for that stamp of approval, inspected by so many women and said, you are the best. And if that stamp is not available, now I'm going to be cranky for the rest of the evening. Negative energy can only give birth to the negative energy. It has no capacity to create a single positive sensation in you. No possibility. But you started your evening with the negative. The rest of the evening is going to feed on that negative. So for jealousy, please remember, it is not something that God wants you to have it. It is something God wants you to use it to improve yourself. It is given to you as a touchstone that you can see within yourself. Am I contented? Am I happy with whatever He has given me and is continuing to give me? physically, emotionally, intellectually, economically, psychologically. Am I happy? If I am contented, the jealousy will disappear. If I am contented, the greed will disappear. You do not have to do anything. You go to anybody else, you sit like this, you bow like this, you bend like that. No. All you need to basically ask yourself, am I content? One single question will get rid of your jealousy and your greed. The keyword, contentment. No games to play. Nothing to surrender to. Nothing to be done. Answer one simple question. Am I contented? When I look into my mirror, do I say, thank you God for this healthy, loving, functional body? Or do I tell him, my face looks good, but where were you when you were giving me my breasts? They are not big enough for me. I'm not happy with my nose. My chin is too long. My lips are too thin. On and on and on. My eyes are too squinty. They should be blue, black, white, gray, this. You can stand in front of the mirror and start cursing God for every single thing above your neck. That's not a sign of contentment. Sign of contentment says, I am grateful because I have no idea what I did to deserve what you just have given me. Do we know? We don't remember what we did to look like this. Even if I am looking the ugliest one, am I not still healthy enough? What about the one who's ugly and unhealthy? You heard the favorite story that somebody was praying and saying, oh God, why you did make me so poor, I cannot have proper shoes. And when he came out of the temple after praying, right on the door of the temple there was a man sitting who had no feet. And he suddenly realized, at least you gave me the feet to walk on, if not the shoes. Jealousy always looks at somebody higher. In economic terms, in physical terms, in social terms, in every term. It does not look at the peer, it does not look below. It always looks at higher. Now this is not by any stretch of imagination a mystery to anybody that there is no limit to the higher. There is no high water mark. Right? There was a small tidbit in Reader's Digest that when the King of Brunei bought his first 747 and had it customized, on the customization because he wanted a flying palace. There were more than 300 million spent on customization alone. But the poor bastard forget where I'm going to land it and where I'm going to store it. He bought it, paid for it. Now he is ready to take that delivery. But there is no hangar built. There is no runway built to land near his property. He had to park at the airport and then drive. No, this is not smart. And the people were saying, look how rich he is. Today, every billionaire has a 747 and there are more than 400 multi-billionaires around the world. Is there a high water mark? No. Should then you continue to be jealous or nurturing the jealousy? It doesn't matter where it starts. It can start from just a good-looking denim to a $300 million renovated flying jumbo jet. Jealousy is jealousy. What you need to do is turn inward, because jealousy turns outward. A key point. Whenever these negative emotions are rising, the anger, the greed, the attachment, the ego, immediately close your eyes and say, aha, this is the proverbial devil. There is no other devil. Lucifer is completely fictitious. Lucifer does not exist. That's just a parable, a story. But in every human there is a Lucifer hiding, and from time to time it brings the greed and the jealousy and the anger and the ego. It just touches it slightly and we run with it. We start dancing to its tunes. How do you control it? Just say it out aloud to yourself. Aha, the Lucifer in me is waking up. He was asleep, but now he's up and he's asking me to look at that pretty dress which I cannot afford to buy. But I'm going to make sure I'm going to work overtime today. And then I'm going to borrow the dress from my friend and I'm going to buy that dress. All you need to do is admit your humanity. Honor your humanity. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't be embarrassed by it. Don't complain about it. I try, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work because you are a human. You have been programmed not just by your parents, but for all of the journey of your soul. And those memories exist right here. And they come up on the surface and they play the trick and they convince you this is the right thing to do. Today, somebody went to a mosque in Iraq. People coming out of the mosque praying. The security forces saw this person, stopped at the gate. The person waited as the crowd assembled around and then exploded, killed 59 people, children, women and adults. Based on what? I am right, they are wrong. I am a true one, they are a false one. And they have no right to live. And I am doing a favor to them. Where is this coming from? a mind completely gone asleep, a consciousness totally buried deep under the even subconsciousness. Right on the surface, whatever is sitting here in the brain as a information, that is the data being processed. Nothing to go deeper in. No training, no education, not even a suggestion that you can go deeper. How do you go deeper? Just remember to acknowledge your humanity as a emotion, any emotion, positive or negative. Acknowledge yourself and say, aha, the emotion of love is coming up. Aha, the emotions of sex is coming up. Emotion of anger is coming up. Emotion of laughter is coming up. Acknowledge it. Welcome it. Own it. It is mine. I cannot deny it. But that's not our habit. What are we trained for? Find somebody to blame. That's our training. Honey, what's wrong? Why are you angry? You made me do it. Why did you do this? Or why did you do that? Because of that, you made me angry. Now the blame has been shifted. I am not angry. I am not responsible for my anger. You are. It doesn't matter who. The finger points. No. Every single emotion belongs to you. No exception. All of it is your responsibility, nobody else's. All of it. If you accept it and own it, there is a potential, there is a possibility that you can improve, that you can change, that you can evolve and become happier and more peaceful person. If you stay in denial, it will keep on getting worse. All these negative emotions are like cancer. They have no outer treatment. Not a single one. You can go to the most accomplished saint and tell the saint, touch my forehead so that this can cure. If that saint is worth his salt, he will say, please go back. You need to work on yourself. There's a beautiful example that a king goes to his master and says, look at the question. Master, I had 11 sons. Not single one of them is capable of running this country. What should I do? So what's the tradition? Make the oldest one your heir. And he said, but the oldest one is the dumbest one. And the master says, it looks like the conqueror of the world hasn't conquered himself yet. Go conquer yourself and you will get the answer to your question. What does it mean? The ego is trying to hold on to the power base and pass on to the genetic line. But the genetic line is not capable of holding on to it. It will lose it sooner or later, no matter what. If you give a kingdom to somebody who's undeserving, And it applies to us also, right? We all are going to leave some wealth behind. And our children are not worthy of that gift. What do you think is going to happen? In less than a year, they would have blown it up on Wine, Woman and Song. Most of the evolved souls look at it. Should I leave this behind or put it in a more worthy cause? So the story goes that that king goes into meditation, realizes his mistake, comes back to his court and declares, I find none of my children capable of sitting in this throne. Hence, I appoint the son of my top general. That boy is far more brilliant as my heir. This story belongs to how did the name Bharat for India evolved. It was named after that king who told the world the dynasties should not pass on to the blood, they should be passed on to the capabilities. Which is the current war between Shias and Sunni. Shia insisting the dynasty should be passed on to the bloodline, and Sunni saying, no, those who understood his message better, they are the better heir to his message. For 1500 years, that argument has not been settled. What is that argument? Pure power based, pure ego based, pure jealousy based, pure greed based, all negative emotions put together into one. The only evolved souls who came completely out of it and said, we don't need his dynasty, we don't need his power, we just need his message, and we want to be one with Allah, and those are the Sufis. Sufis are not looking for to establish a country. They are true mystics. They are true spiritualists. They are true trying to be one with one. The reality is they are the true heir of Muhammad. No jealousy, no ego, no desire to have a power, no desire to control anybody else, order anybody else, collect taxations and all of that from anybody else. So all you need is that self-awareness, number one, and number two, the courage. At least within myself I can say, I am a thief. I may tell you that I am the holy saint, and you may even believe me. But at least to myself I can say, I really am a thief. Be honest to yourself, forget the rest of the world. Yes, I do have still anger in me. I haven't overcome it yet. Yes, I still have the greed. No, I'm not greedy. How dare you call me greedy? You see these Babas coming from East India or Pakistan, from wherever, and they say, we don't touch the money. This is a free service. But sir, I would like to offer a gift to you of my appreciation. Give it to her. I don't touch it. Or, okay, slide it under the seat. Well, I don't touch it. And we say, oh my God, look at these. What a holy saint. And look what the drama is doing. Give it to my secretary, put it under my seat, give it to the pillow, but I don't touch it. Okay, fine, if you don't touch it, why should I give it to your secretary? Let me take it back. There is a beautiful story of a saint where somebody brings a valuable gift in the form of a big diamond and offers. And the saint says, what am I going to do with this? And he says, it's a very valuable, very expensive rare stone, and I think a holy person will bless it and make it even more valuable, so I want to leave it here. And say, no, I don't need it. So he picks it up, puts it in the pocket, and his son was sitting next to him. He said, come over here, where are you going? He said, well, your father just refused it. He said, well, look, you carried it all the way from your home and brought it here. Now you'll pick it up and go walk back again here? Why don't you unload yourself? He said, aha, okay. Father doesn't have it, but son does. He said, okay, you take it. He said, no, I can't take it. Why don't you put it on the shelf over there? Don't take it back. Beautiful story. After a year, he comes back and he asks the son, what did you do with the stone? I said, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Where did you put it? You told me to put it over there. He said, go look over there. And he went there and the stone was still there, just the way he put it. And he says, if you are also not going to take it, why did you do this? He said, my father wasn't going to help you. I had a compassion on you. I noticed that your attachment with this stone is so much. You were attacked on the way bringing it back. You are going to be attacked taking it back. Not so much that you have come back and the first thing you ask is about the stone. You still haven't lost your attachment. I'm trying to help you. Don't get attached to these things. They have no value in the world of mysticism, in the world of spirituality. Stone is a stone is a stone. Attachments, greed, jealousy. We don't even notice that they are chasing us every step of the way. And we are not aware, we are not alert. We don't push it back and say, I don't need you. But I see you, you are sitting right inside me, I know. Because every time this happens, you wake up. Then Lucifer would not miss a beat every time there is a chance. It would want to pinch you. That's the job of the devil. Devil is more alert than you are. Another beautiful metaphor. Somebody used to go to a temple and light the candle. But there was another one who would come right behind him and blow off the candle. This continued for a very long time. And one night, it was raining so hard, the guy who used to light up the candle did not go to the temple. But the guy who used to blow it off went. And this guy gets a dream in the night and that angel is sitting on his neck and threatening him. And say, why are you threatening me? I was the one who was lighting it up. He said, that's not the question of what you do. The question is of commitment. You broke your commitment, the other one didn't. So that is more, after all, you remember somebody by saying I love you or by saying I hate you. But you still remember. Is it not? Whether you are attached from the positive side or from the negative side, it is still attachment. How can you say, I will not be attached to the negative anymore? Okay. What are you doing now? I'm only doing positive. Okay. But isn't the attachment still there? You haven't gotten rid of the attachment just because you are not doing the negative. A true detachment means you are detached, negative or positive. And we are not alert. Energy like jealousy happens to us when we are walking, talking, moving around, visiting. It doesn't matter where we are. Every time we are interacting, jealousy, envy, greed, they are all ready to wake up on the drop of a hat. And if you are not alert and you are not committed to this alertness, it will not help you. You will be going in circles. So understand the mechanics, how the mind works. It will make you feel very good by saying, see, you're not doing that anymore, you used to. So you must be very good. See, you are improving. See, you are growing. What is it telling you? It is stroking your ego at the same time. This is going down and the ego is going up. Oh, I'm that good. That is why meditation is so important. To train your mind to be pencil sharp all the time. There is no holiday, there is no 4th of July on this one. It's 7 days a week, 24 hours a day commitment. If you want to be a true spiritualist. If not, then continue the way you are, then there is no need to change. So with that, we'll stop the monologue and start the dialogue.